I need to tell you something about the door that closed that nobody told you when it happened. The job you did not get. The relationship that ended. The opportunity that disappeared. The plan that fell apart. You have been grieving it as a loss. But what if? What was behind that door was not the blessing you thought it was? What if God closed it, not because He forgot you, but because He could see what you could not, and what He saw would have destroyed you? Stay right here, because what I am about to show you from Scripture will change how you see every closed door for the rest of your life. God led an entire nation out of Egypt, hundreds of thousands of people, former slaves who had never known anything but bondage. And He had a choice between two roads. The short road, 11 days, direct, logical, efficient, or the long road through the wilderness, winding, confusing, seemingly pointless. And God chose the long road, not because He was confused, not because He miscalculated, because He looked down the short road and saw something waiting for Israel that would have broken them before they ever reached the promise. And the same God who closed the short road is the same God who closed your door. Stay with me, because before I show you what was waiting on the short road, I need to show you something about how God thinks. That is completely different from how we think, because when a door closes, we assume one of two things. Either God does not care, or we did something wrong. But Exodus 13:17 reveals a third option that most people have never considered, and it changes everything. Exodus 13:17-18. Israel had just been freed from Egypt. 400 years of slavery over. The Red Sea crossed. Pharaoh's army defeated. And now they needed to get to the promised land. And there were two roads. Road 1, the road through Philistine country. Shorter, more direct, the obvious choice. Road 2, the wilderness road. Longer, harder, less obvious. And Exodus 13:17 says, when Pharaoh let the people go, God did not lead them on the road through the Philistine country, though that was shorter. For God said, if they face war, they might change their minds and return to Egypt. God said. He did not say, the Philistine road was blocked by circumstances. He did not say, the Philistine road was not available. He said, I chose not to take them on the Philistine road. God closed it on purpose. And He gave a reason. If they face war, they might change their minds and return to Egypt. The Philistines were a military superpower. Israel was 2 million former slaves. They had never fought a war. They had never held a weapon. They had never organized an army. And the Philistine road was full of Philistines. If God had taken them the short way, they would have faced a war they were not equipped to win, and the trauma of that encounter would have sent them running back to Egypt, back to slavery, back to bondage, back to the very thing God had just freed them from. The shorter road would have broken them, so God closed it and took them the long way, not because He was cruel or indifferent, because He was merciful. And the door that closed in your life may have had a Philistine army waiting behind it that you could not see from where you were standing. Now I need to show you something about this story that takes it from a historical account to a deeply personal message about your specific situation. Because God did not just close the Philistine road. He gave Israel an alternative, and the alternative looked nothing like what they would have chosen. It looked like exactly the wrong direction. But inside the wrong direction, God was building something that the short road could never have produced. Let me show you. Exodus 13:18 says, so God led the people around by the desert road toward the Red Sea. The desert road, not the scenic route, not the comfortable route, not the route that felt like progress. The desert, and what happened in that desert, is one of the most comprehensive character development programs in human history. In the desert, Israel learned to trust a God they could not see, for food they could not produce, in a land that had nothing to offer. In the desert, they learned what they were made of, when there was no comfort to hide in. In the desert, they learned community, how to live together, how to lead, how to follow, how to resolve conflict, how to worship, how to build. And at the end of the desert, Joshua 5:6 records, the Israelites had moved about in the wilderness 40 years, until all the men who were of military age when they left Egypt had died, since they had not obeyed the Lord. A new generation. People who had never known slavery, people who had only known God's provision in the desert, where there was nothing else to depend on. People who, when they finally faced the Philistines and Canaanites, did not run back to Egypt, because they had spent 40 years learning that God was the only thing they had ever needed. The Philistine road would have produced traumatized former slaves running from a battle they could not win. The desert road produced warriors who had learned in the hardest school on earth that the God who provided manna was the same God who could provide victory. And the door that closed in your life sent you to a desert that is building something in you that the open door could never have produced. Now I want to address the hardest version of this conversation, because someone watching is thinking, but the door that closed was something I needed. It was not a Philistine army. It was a job I needed, a relationship I wanted, a dream I had been building. And I want to answer that thought directly, because the mercy of God in closed doors does not always look like protection from something dramatic. Sometimes it looks like protection from something subtle that would have slowly taken you apart from the inside. And what I am about to show you reveals the kind of thing God protects us from, that we would never have called dangerous until it was too late. Before I show you, think about the specific door that closed in your life, the one you are still grieving, the one you are still trying to reopen. And I want you to type "I trust the closed door" in the comments, not because you feel it yet, but because declaring it is the beginning of believing it. Type those 4 words and stay with me, because what I am about to share will help you see what might have been waiting behind that door that you could not see from where you were standing. Let me show you 3 kinds of Philistine armies that hide behind doors that look like blessings. Philistine Army 1, the opportunity that would have taken you away from your actual calling. Numbers 22. Balaam, ye prophet, was offered money and honor to curse Israel. It was a significant opportunity, financially, politically, professionally, and God closed that door. 3 times, Balaam's donkey stopped. 3 times, the road was blocked. And then, the angel of the Lord appeared and said, Numbers 22:32-33. I have come here to oppose you, because your path is a reckless one before me. The donkey saw me and turned away from me these 3 times. If it had not turned away, I would certainly have killed you by now. The road Balaam wanted had death at the end of it. The opportunity that looked like advancement was actually destruction. God closed the road. The donkey was the mercy. And sometimes, the thing that blocked you, the inconvenience, the obstacle, the closed door, was the mercy. Philistine Army 2, the relationship that would have slowly redefined you. 1 Kings 11. Solomon, the wisest man who ever lived, made one decision that the Bible says turned his heart away. He married women who worshipped other gods, not because he planned to change, not because he sat down and decided to abandon God. Slowly, over time, the relationships redefined what he worshipped. 1 Kings 11:4. As Solomon grew old, his wives turned his heart after other gods, and his heart was not fully devoted to the Lord his God. The wisest man in history, brought down not by an enemy, but by a relationship that looked like love, and slowly, quietly, turned his heart away. Some closed doors are God protecting you from a relationship that would have done the same thing, not violently, slowly, subtly, in a way you would not have noticed until you were already somewhere you never intended to be. Philistine Army 3, the success that would have arrived before you were ready for it. Genesis 11, the Tower of Babel, a people unified, talented, capable, building something impressive, and God closed that door. Genesis 11:6. The Lord said, "If as one people speaking the same language they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them." God saw not their ability, but where their ability was taking them. The closed door was not inability, it was protection from what unchecked success without the right foundation would have produced. Some doors close, not because you are not capable, but because capability without character breaks the person carrying it. And there was a moment when it seemed like Absalom would succeed, when everything David had built was about to be handed to someone who was not ready to hold it. And God closed that door, not because Absalom was not talented, but because what he would have done with the power before he was formed by the process of earning it would have destroyed him and Israel and the legacy of what David had built. Success before formation is one of the most dangerous things God protects us from, and the door he closed in your life may have been protecting you from a version of success that would have arrived before you were ready and broken everything, including you. Now I want to give you 4 things to do with the closed door you are still standing in front of. Not 4 ways to reopen it. 4 ways to position yourself, like Israel at the desert road, so that what God is building in the detour can do its full work in you before the next door opens. And the 4th one is what Israel did on the day they finally crossed the Jordan, that I want you to do in this season. Thing number 1. Stop trying to reopen it. This sounds simple. It is not. Because the natural response to a closed door is to knock louder, to send another application, to make another call, to try the door one more time just in case. But Israel did not try to take the Philistine road anyway. Exodus 13:18 says, God led them, they followed. The trust was in the leading BTD, not in their assessment of which road was better. Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. Lean not. Your understanding says the door should be open. God's understanding sees the Philistine army. Lean not. Thing number 2. Look for what God is building in the detour. The Israelites in the desert received the 10 Commandments, built the tabernacle, learned to worship, organized as a nation. None of that could have happened on the Philistine road. The detour was the curriculum. What is God giving you in the detour that you could not have received on the road you wanted? New skills, deeper character, a different community, a clearer sense of who you are when comfort is removed. The detour has a curriculum. Start looking for what you are being taught. Thing number 3. Trust that God can see what is behind the door. This requires a theology of divine omniscience, applied practically. God, who knows the end from the beginning, sees what is behind every door before it opens. He knows what the job would have done to you 3 years in. He knows what the relationship would have cost you 5 years down the road. He knows what the opportunity would have required that you did not yet have. Isaiah 46:10. I make known the end from the beginning, from ancient times, what is still to come. He sees the end from the beginning. You see one door. He sees every room the door leads to. Trust the one who can see what you cannot. Thing number 4. And this is what Israel did the day they crossed the Jordan. They set up stones of remembrance. Joshua 4:6-7. When your children ask you, what do these stones mean? Tell them that the flow of the Jordan was cut off before the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord. These stones are to be a memorial to the people of Israel forever. They marked the miracle. They documented. God closed the road. God led the detour. God brought us through. Start building your memorial. Write down the closed doors that protected you. The relationship that ended, that you now understand was wrong for you. The job you did not get, that led to something better. The plan that fell apart, that redirected you to where you were supposed to be. Because the stones of remembrance build the faith to trust the next closed door, and the next one, and the one after that. Until the day you look back at every closed door and see not loss. A God who loved you enough to see what was waiting behind it and chose a longer road, so you would still be standing when you arrived. Let me close with this. Exodus 13:21-22. By day the Lord went ahead of them in a pillar of cloud to guide them on their way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, so that they could travel by day or night. Neither the pillar of cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night left its place in front of the people. Never left. On the long road, on the detour, in the desert, in the confusion, in the "this is not what I expected." The cloud never left. The fire never left. God leading every step, even the steps that felt like the wrong direction. And I want to say this to the person who is standing in front of a closed door and feeling like God has walked away. He has not walked away. He walked ahead of you. And the detour you are on is not the road He abandoned you on. It is the road He is leading you down, with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, towards something that the short road could never have taken you to. The door closed because God saw what was behind it, and He loved you too much to let you walk into it. If what you are carrying feels heavier than a closed door, do not carry it alone. If today reached you, save this video. Come back to it every time a door closes and you cannot see why, and share it with someone who is grieving a closed door and needs to know. It was not rejection, it was redirection, by a God who goes ahead and sees what is coming and loves you enough to take you the long way.